For the past 20 years, China's grip on Africa's economy has tightened. It's now the continent's biggest trading partner, pouring billions into massive construction projects. Just in 2024, China locked in over $51 billion in new infrastructure deals. But why? Africa holds the raw materials China craves, the markets it wants to dominate, and the influence it seeks to expand. The results? Game-changing developments, but not without controversy. So here are the top 10 Chinese megaprojects in Africa that will shock you. Coming in at number 10, we've got Egypt's new administrative capital, a city so massive, it's practically a country of its own. With a jaw-dropping $45 billion price tag, this isn't just a facelift for Cairo. It's an entirely new city, rising from the desert about 45 kilometers east of Egypt's overcrowded capital. We're talking about a futuristic government district, cutting-edge financial centers, lush green spaces larger than Central Park, and an architectural marvel, a 1-kilometer-tall skyscraper set to dominate the skyline. China is heavily invested in this grand vision, with Chinese construction giants like China State Construction Engineering Corporation leading the charge. When finished, this smart city will be home to 6.5 million people and generate millions of jobs. Sliding into number 9, we have Tanzania's Port of Bagamoyo, a game-changing project that could put East Africa on the map as a global trade hub. With a hefty $10 billion investment, this deep-sea port, located just 75 kilometers from Dar es Salaam, aims to outshine every other port in the region. To put it into perspective, its expected annual capacity is 20 million TEU, 7 times more than the port of Mombasa, which is currently the biggest in East Africa. That's not just an upgrade, it's a complete overhaul of the region's trade dynamics. China Merchants Port, a state-owned Chinese corporation, is the main force behind this behemoth of a project. If completed, it won't just benefit Tanzania. Landlocked countries like Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi will gain a direct route to global markets. But it hasn't all been smooth sailing. Delays, funding hurdles, and environmental concerns have stalled the project, leaving its future uncertain. Still, if Tanzania pulls it off, the Port of Bagamoyo could reshape East Africa's economy for generations. At number 8, we land in Nigeria, where the Mambilla hydroelectric power project is set to revolutionize the country's energy landscape. Nestled along the Donga River in Taraba State, this project is anything but small. Once completed, it will churn out a staggering 3,050 megawatts of electricity, enough to power millions of homes. That's 1.5 times the output of America's iconic Hoover Dam. China's Sino-Hydro, a company known for engineering the world's biggest dam, the Three Gorges Dam, is leading construction. At a cost of $5.8 billion, it's one of Nigeria's most ambitious infrastructure projects to date. If all goes according to plan, it could be a turning point for Nigeria, where power shortages have long stunted economic growth. But with a completion date set for 2030, only time will tell if this dam lives up to its promise. Securing the number 7 spot is Namibia's Walvis Bay Container Terminal expansion, a $300 million upgrade that's shaking up trade in southern Africa. Built by China Harbor Engineering Company, this high-stakes project involved reclaiming 40 hectares of land from the sea and constructing a brand-new 600-meter quay wall. The results? A port that can now handle 750,000 TEU per year, double its previous capacity. To put that into perspective, that's the same volume as Spain's Port of Valencia, one of Europe's busiest. This expansion isn't just a win for Namibia. It's a strategic play for the entire region, connecting landlocked countries like Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe to international trade routes. But this is just one piece of the puzzle. Walvis Bay is central to a larger vision, a transportation network linking southern Africa to global markets. With China's backing, this project could be a game changer for trade and economic growth. Coming in at number 6 is Nigeria's Lagos-Ibadan Railway, a sleek, modern railway that's bringing high-speed travel to one of Africa's most congested regions. Built by China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, this 156-kilometer rail line cost $1.5 billion and was completed in 2021 after years of setbacks. Before this railway, the trip from Lagos to Ibadan was a frustrating hours-long ordeal on gridlocked roads. Now passengers can make the journey in just over 2 hours, with trains reaching speeds of up to 150 kilometers per hour. But this railway isn't just about convenience, it's about progress. It replaces an outdated colonial-era narrow-gauge line, bringing Nigeria's infrastructure into the modern age. And this is just the beginning. The Lagos-Ibadan Railway is the first step in an even bigger plan. The Lagos-Kano Standard Gauge Railway, a 1,100-kilometer rail line that will eventually link Nigeria's southern economic hub to its northern regions. At number 5, we have the breathtaking Maputo-Katembe Bridge in Mozambique. Stretching an incredible 3 kilometers across Maputo Bay, it holds the record as Africa's longest suspension bridge. Before this engineering beast came along, getting from Maputo to Katembe meant relying on a slow, unreliable ferry. A trip that could take hours now takes just minutes. Built by China Road and Bridge Corporation for a hefty $785 million, the bridge opened in 2018, connecting the capital to the once isolated Katembe district. But this isn't just about convenience. With 1,500 vehicles crossing per hour, trade and tourism have skyrocketed. Some experts even predict this bridge alone could boost Mozambique's GDP by 3%. For Katembe, it's more than just a road. It's a doorway to economic opportunity, a link to jobs, education, and a better future. Next up, coming in at number 4, is the Subre Hydroelectric Power Station in Ivory Coast. Sitting on the mighty Sassandra River, this dam is a powerhouse, literally. With a 275-megawatt capacity, it's lighting up over 200,000 homes across the country. China's fingerprints are all over this project. The Export-Import Bank of China bankrolled 85% of the $572 million cost, while state-owned Sinohydro handled construction. It wasn't easy. Harsh weather and tricky terrain made building this dam a serious challenge. But by 2017, it was up and running. Before Subre, Ivory Coast depended heavily on imported electricity. Now it's in control of its own power supply, and there's more. This dam isn't just keeping the lights on at home, it's generating enough surplus energy to export to neighboring countries. Moving up to number 3, we have the Addis Ababa-Djibouti Railway. Stretching 756 kilometers, it connects Ethiopia to the crucial port of Djibouti. If you know anything about Ethiopia, you know it's landlocked, meaning nearly all its imports and exports have to pass through Djibouti. And before this railway, that journey was brutal. Days of rough, unreliable roads. Now, just 12 hours. 2 major Chinese companies, China Railway Group and China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, made this $4 billion dream a reality with big-time financial backing from the Export-Import Bank of China. But here's where it gets really interesting. This railway isn't just moving cargo, it's moving economies. Experts estimate it will boost Ethiopia's GDP by 2.2% each year and has already created over 20,000 jobs. For a country with one of the fastest growing economies in Africa, this is huge. And for Djibouti, this railway is a golden ticket, reinforcing its role as a regional logistics powerhouse. At number 2, we have Kenya's Nairobi-Mombasa Standard Gauge Railway. If you've ever sat in Nairobi traffic, you'll understand why this project was long overdue. Before, the journey between Nairobi and Mombasa took a painful 10-plus hours. Now, 4.5. Dubbed the Madaraka Express, this 472-kilometer rail line cost a jaw-dropping $3.2 billion, with 90% of that coming from, you guessed it, China's Export-Import Bank. Built by China Road and Bridge Corporation, the railway opened in 2017, instantly slashing travel time, boosting trade, and cutting transportation costs. This isn't just a railway, it's an economic artery. It's estimated to boost Kenya's GDP by 1.5% annually and has created more than 30,000 jobs. Beyond that, it's attracting businesses and fueling industrial growth along its route. But not everyone sees it as a win. Some say this is China's long-term strategy: pour money into Africa, lock countries into debt, and gain political influence. Is this just infrastructure, or is it a modern Silk Road with strings attached? And finally, at number 1, the Kakulo Kabasa Hydropower Project in Angola. Located on the powerful Kwanza River, this beast is expected to generate a staggering 2,172 megawatts, more than doubling Angola's current energy supply. With a price tag of $4.5 billion, China's development bank stepped in to finance it, and construction is led by the China Gejuba Group, the same company behind China's world-famous Three Gorges Dam. Work started in 2017, employing over 10,000 people and battling through rugged terrain and logistical nightmares. Once completed, this dam won't just keep Angola's lights on, it will power industries, fuel economic growth, and even export electricity to neighbors like Namibia and South Africa. But like all massive dams, it comes with risks. Entire communities could be displaced, ecosystems disrupted, and the long-term environmental impact is still uncertain. So what do you think? Do you think China's investments will transform Africa for the better, or could there be a downside? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more videos like this. As always, thanks for tuning in.